on our nation's transformation beyond the talking points is Andru Escoto. Andru is a lifelong resident of Boston. He has been involved with art and performance for his entire life. And for the last 7 years, he has been a dance teacher. And last year, Andru started his own company, Found Through Sound, which aims to bring all forms of art, especially dance, to local communities. You're watching Our Nation's Transformation with Newton, and we welcome Andru. Hi, Andru. Hi. Welcome.
How you doing, Newton? How you doing?
Good.
What are you reaching for me?
Yeah. Would you like to shake my hand?
Of course. Let's do a little special handshake, though. I'm gonna give it to you right here. Ready?
Okay.
Right there for you.
Whoa.
Yep. All right. But you keep
Wow.
that. Don't give it back to me yet.
Wow, that was cool. That's like cooler than what I'm used to on my show. Oh boy, this is fun. Hey, Andru, I mentioned in my intro that you're a dance teacher and founder of a company called Found Through Sound. Can you tell me a bit about that and about your background a little bit?
For sure. Yeah, so I guess background is where you start, right? So I'm from Boston, like you said. I've lived here my entire life. My parents are first generation here, so they are from Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, so that's kind of where I learned how to dance with my family. Yeah, I know. I didn't really think much of it when I was growing up. It was just kind of something we did whenever we were together with our family, always dancing. And I just took that into high school and beyond, and that's why I'm here with you now, Newton.
So what kind of dance did you learn as a kid?
So I had a couple of cousins that were a little bit older than I, and they started with like salsa, merengue. Do you know any of those dances?
I've heard of them. Never tried them though. It's hard for me without legs. But I'm willing to try anything. If I can use my upper body.
Yes. Well, there is no, I have never seen puppet dancing, so that is for your own improvisation, Newton.
Oh, yeah.
You are the originator of the, what are we going to call it? The puppet style?
The puppet style, yeah, yeah.
But so anything like that, I started basically with partner dancing. I kind of look like a fool when I'm by myself, but when I'm in a team with somebody else, we can make some magic happen. It's really fun.
And so what's Found Through Sound? Actually, Andru, to tell you the truth, I didn't even know I was lost. But I'm pumped.
Actually, with the name of the company, I am not necessarily referring to being lost more than something that you might want to find in general.
So, like what? What would you want to find?
Well, how about a new puppet friend?
Oh, really? Oh, I can find new puppet friends through your company? Wait, are there any cute girl puppets? Wait, maybe with pointy heads, perhaps? Wait, Mom, what are you doing? Newton. What? What the heck? Yes, I'm gonna keep it G-rated. Oh, jeez. Oh, excuse me, that was rude. Anyway,
well, Newton, yes.
Well, I would love to meet new people and have fun. So if that's what your company is about, like hooking up people so they're meeting others, I'm all about that. Is it just other artists that come together? Or not just dancers, all different artists? Or I'm trying to picture it in my pointy mind.
Yes, so that's not necessarily what it's completely about, but we focus on creating a sort of immersive environment, specifically that allows our local artists to kind of have an outlet and a platform for them to express and give their art.
And are people off the street coming in to watch, or are they like part of it all?
So they will hopefully be, so you're pushing me in the right direction, Newton. I like this, because it's a big idea, and sometimes it's hard for me to communicate that with somebody else, especially when you're starting your own company. So this is actually very helpful. You have some great questions. So,
thanks.
So yeah, we're trying to find artists, and we aim to build as broad of a schedule as possible with our artists, and put all those disciplines together in one event. So basically you can have live music, whether that's bands, DJs, visual artists, right? People creating art, on the spot, or maybe they already have created it.
Like painters, photographers,
Yes,
that
painters,
kind of thing.
photographers, like projection artists that work with like more technology-based stuff. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that was a kind of art.
Oh, for sure.
You know, I'm working on a puppet show. We're going to need a projection artist. I should come to one of your events and try to meet somebody like that.
You are the first puppet artist I have ever met.
I
am? You are.
Wow. Oh, I feel so honored. Oh, I'm like half blushing.
Wow.
Wow. So, you know, what if you're not creative? How do you show up for something like that you're talking about? Or maybe you don't even think of yourself as creative to have enough to even have a hobby of art. Like,
right,
how
right.
do we encourage just people that consider themselves the average Joe to be more in connection with their own creativity?
Well, like I said, Newton, you are an artist yourself, and you're actually the first puppet artist I've met. So
I never really think of myself as an artist, Andrew.
You should feel very confident. But
wow.
That kind of what you just asked kind of gets, for me, that kind of gets at the spirit of art, and what I kind of envision art being about. So I don't necessarily think that art is about whether you consider yourself an artist professionally or even as a hobby. And that's kind of what I would like to see and encourage with my company. I would like to have people connecting with their own creativity, their own expression, and in that way having art as a form, as an outlet for them to communicate with their own creativity and also use that to create with others. Just like we're doing right now.
Yes. So it's a way to connect with others and yourself.
For sure,
wow.
for sure.
That's cool.
And I don't think you need a title of artist or professional to be able to do that, right?
No, absolutely not. Art is supposed to be for everyone, a way to connect with our own humanness and beyond our humanness to our spiritual parts.
Right.
Our spiritual parts. How would you describe like dancing with a partner and how it helps you to grow and challenge yourself?
That's kind of something that a lot of people are nervous about. So again, the events that we're trying to create aren't necessarily all dance focused. And that's part of the reason why we create such a broad schedule. I want people to be able to relate to the dance, to the event actually. I want them to be able to relate and connect to the dance in many different ways. Maybe dancing isn't necessarily your thing.
Right.
That's why we have the visual artists and other people that kind of give other tangents for people to enter the event. When we're talking about dancing, a lot of people are nervous about that, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about, being nervous about like making it look perfect every time you do it, or making it look right, or just making it not feel like it's silly or embarrassing, I guess.
Right. Well, so it obviously doesn't come out perfect every time. Even for someone like myself, I've been dancing, like I said, since I was young, and it doesn't always happen. Maybe you don't connect with the music or
the partner?
Just that partner you might not necessarily have experience with, or you guys don't connect in the best way. But to me, that is something fun in itself, and gives me something to work on, something to grow with. Through dance, for instance, one of my main arts, I can have a completely unique experience with someone that I've never met.
Ooh.
Right? So there is a lot of like, you could be anxious, like, it's got to be perfect, I need to dance and look like all those movies or whatever, right? Or whatever your vision of dancing is. But once you get past that, you just really connect with your partner, and you have a fun time, and you create some good things together. And that's kind of one of the best things about being a part of it.
So when you boil it down, I think you're right that respect for yourself and others is the main thing in art, in spirituality,
yes,
in life, in politics, in everything, in life in general. And oh, speaking of politics, as you know, my show is about the intersection of spirituality and politics. What do you think it says about our society that, you know, there's so little money invested in art? You know, art's cut from schools. Art and music are like the first things cut from schools every time.
Yes.
And our artists are not valued in our society, financially or otherwise, any value. It just stinks, Andrew. It stinks. I tell ya.
I see you.
Sorry, I'm very passionate about this subject.
Yes, I see you have a lot of energy about this, Newton. I like it. So, yes, having art in education is an experience that we really need to value, and it's a huge point of importance.
Yeah.
I agree with you there. My company has some involvement with earlier education. I've had a little bit of basically experimenting with programs for high school and elementary. And that's something we would like to grow in the future.
Yes, that's great that you're working with schools or starting to work with schools.
Yes,
that's wonderful. That's so important.
It is not necessarily the easiest thing to get into the school systems right now. The curriculum is pretty strict.
It seems tighter and tighter due to those tests that everyone has to take that just measures basically how good of a test taker you are. Did you know I'm on the internet more than I should be, and I was signing a petition the other day to save recess. We're saving recess now, apparently. Recess is getting cut. So I hear you about everything being shortened in the day, and so just math, science, reading, writing, I mean, those are important, but we need more than just. What are we doing that for? As Mr. Keating says from Dead Poet Society, sorry, that's one of my favorite movies, what is the purpose of learning math and reading and writing if we don't have a way to express ourselves through art? That's like the whole point of life, I feel like.
What I would like to see maybe happen a little bit more, and what my company is trying to target, we are focusing on building this environment of art in bars, other venues, clubs, public spaces, whether they're outdoor or indoor, so that especially adults can build the value for art themselves and reconnect to their artistic skills. Because in the end, they are the ones signing these petitions and making these decisions, right? So I think if we can help people my age and beyond see the value of connecting with their own expression and their own creativity, that they will then see why they need to provide that for their children, yes?
Yes, absolutely. As they connect with it themselves, they're remembering the importance of it. And you know what it sounds like you're doing with your company, Found Through Sound, is ultimately you're building community, like artistic communities, local artistic communities, which really is really the only way to truly build a movement. You know, that sense of belonging it's deeply embedded in our human nature, and it's a strong motivating force. It might be even the strongest for building anything, from a company to a political movement to an artistic movement.
So you definitely need to come to one of these next events, Newton.
Oh yeah, can I?
I like everything you're putting down right now. But yes, so you know, Newton, your mom and I were actually feeling a little bit worried about how to present this topic today and how to go about it.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, I mean, it is a difficult topic, and there's a lot connected to it, right? But we basically wanted to try and, we were thinking about how do we create, or how do we help people connect to the vision that we are seeing without sounding like the starving artist that is just complaining about life, right?
Yeah, that doesn't go very far, probably.
But what happened in great timing, because you and your mother and I both, you know, have a really good confidence in things just happening sometimes, maybe for a reason.
Oh, yes, the universe.
You know, oh, hey, who knows?
In the flow, dude. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with great timing, we found this article that the president from Mass Art actually wrote and just released openly.
Oh yes, it's I know. We were talking about it. It's
Yep.
called "Stop Measuring the Arts in Merely Financial Terms."
Right. So the title pretty much just throws it out there, huh?
Yeah, that's basically the point. That's if all we're doing is measuring things by the bottom line, then we're undermining the public good. We're undermining our own selves.
Right. So the important points that I felt he voiced very well kind of brought together a bunch of the issues we've been talking about, and for example, if I can quote him, right? So measuring the health of our economy merely in financial terms is a sure way to undermine the public good.
Why is that?
Right. So arts themselves, they tap into some kind of ingenuity, creativity that is...
Can't be measured?
Right, you can't really measure it, and you can't reduce it to a lot of the models of value right now of...
You can't put it on a spreadsheet and see the gains from last quarter to this quarter. Oh look, my creativity has gone up! Woohoo!
Right, so... but that is kind of how a lot of things are measured right now and how they're assessed, right?
A lot of things, like everything.
Yeah, so one other good thing that he said towards the end of the article, which was a good play on words, is that instead of a goods economy, we should be concentrating on a good economy. With everything else going on, whether that's environmental, whether that's affordability, human rights, all the justice that needs to be addressed for people of all colors, shapes, and sizes around the world. We don't need more goods to do that, right? I don't necessarily know if the things, they will help, obviously, but I don't know if the goods themselves are what we need more than just more good.
We are focused a lot on things. We are a consumer economy,
Right.
a consumer society, and we sometimes lose our connection to the things that really matter, which is, well, it sounds corny, but it's true, gosh darn it. Each other. I'm going to just say it. Each other. That's the main point of life, is loving each other, having fun, connecting, right? And the goods, that, yeah, sometimes they help us, but overall we focus too much on the things, the stuff.
Right. But the things and the stuff are going to be very important, and especially how we're talking about how our system works right now. For instance, those things aren't necessarily going to even be available. For instance,
oh, yeah.
with our current governor,
yes.
Mr. Baker,
oh, yes.
proposing to cut the Cultural Council by over 50%. You know, that's not necessarily going to help, huh?
50%? That sounds like a lot. Governor Baker! Ugh, curses!
Well, I don't necessarily want to point fingers, but I was just giving an example of the direction that's being taken. So the intangible is definitely, I think, where a lot of the importance is, but also the tangible things, the goods that are necessary to help us find those better things aren't being made accessible either, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
But
so is there anything we can do?
Of course, there's a couple of great organizations that are coming around. One that I work for, if I can give them a shout out, the Ujima Project, Boston Ujima Project. They're trying to basically find public sourcing and funding, get people engaged with investing in what they really feel is valuable.
Oh.
So that's a very cool organization.
What is it? Ujima?
Yes,
Ujima?
Ujima.
Oh, we'll have to Google that. Ujima.
Right.
I'm going to look it up.
But there's a lot of other...
and Found Through Sound, of course.
Right, so thank you for that.
Oh, speaking of which, do you have any events coming up that we should know about?
I've been trying to work with, so I live in Rosendale right now. Mm-hmm. I've been trying to work with the neighborhood to bring more artistic events and just more open events to the neighborhood. So I will be teaming up with the new Trillium Brewery that's there.
Oh, yeah, Trillium. I shouldn't say that I like that because I wouldn't have no idea what that tastes like. But let's just say I've heard it tastes good.
Yes, it's good. So yeah, they helped renovate this old substation that's there, a giant brick building. It's a beautiful open space. So we're going to be teaching a dance lesson there on March 11th.
March 11th.
In connection with the Trillium Brewery, and then they will be providing us with some of their tasty drinks.
Ooh, when is that? Is that a Sunday?
That's a Sunday.
What time?
It's 11 a.m. So to get your day started, you can come in for a nice open dance lesson. We're going to be concentrating on just connecting with yourself and your partner so that you can use that for any dance. We're not really going to concentrate on one type of dance.
Oh, okay. Do you need to bring a partner to come, or are you going to partner people up that show up?
Right. So you do not need a partner. We usually encourage rotating who you're dancing with. Actually, it helps you learn a lot faster, and you can feel what other people dance like and how they move their body.
Oh.
So yeah.
11 a.m. on March 11th. Oh, that's easy to remember. 11 a.m. on the 11th.
Right.
All right.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, cool. I want to go. Mom, can we go? Oh, maybe. Maybe means no, I've learned, but I'll have to talk to her later.
I hope you can.
I want to go. Hey.
But yes, there will be other things coming up after that. So keep.
And how can we learn about them? On your Facebook page, or?
Yes, so I have a Facebook page for Found Through Sound. We will be expanding that into just a Found Through Sound dedicated website.
Oh, cool.
But for now, Facebook is the way to find out of anything that we're doing in the future.
Cool. So you can look him up on Facebook. Just type in Found Through Sound in the search box in Facebook, and the events coming up will pop right up.
Yes.
So Andrew, unfortunately, I see we're running out of time, but I wondered if I could share a quote with you to end our time together.
Right.
It's by Shakti Gaiwan. She's an author, and it says,
okay.
Spiritual healing occurs as we begin to consciously reconnect with our essential being, the wise, loving, powerful, creative entity that we are at our core.
That's cool, Newton.
So spirituality and art are intertwined. We can't separate them. It's kind of almost synonymous in a sense.
Yes. I would agree with you there. That's very cool, Newton.
Well, thank you so much, Andrew, for coming on the show. This has been a blast. I hope you can come back sometime.
We have blasted off.
We've blasted off.
Thank you for having me here, Newton.
Oh, thank you. I actually have questions about something else for maybe a future show. I've always wanted to learn more about the Federal Reserve. I know that sounds weird, but I don't get it, and I'd like to talk more about that, maybe in a next show.
Yes, well, you actually just touched on one of my other favorite topics, right? And that's kind of what we talked about, how money and our systems will relate to encouraging things like the beautiful arts. So I would love to come back and talk to you about that.
Oh, super. Let's schedule something. I'll put you in touch with my people.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Maybe I can do one more cool handshake here.
Yeah, you're going to give it back to me? I can feel it. I can feel it, Newton. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in for our episode of Our Nation's Transformation Beyond the Talking Points with dancer and artist and founder of Found Through Sound, Andru Escoto. Tune in next time for more discussion about spirituality and politics. This is Newton signing off. Goodbye, everybody.